About me,
There you go.
I have lived in the Lake area since 1999. I thought I'd move to the lake and escape that Y2K thing they had going on at the turn of the century and get out of the city. I'm from Kansas City. I lived there for about 11 years. Before that, I was born and raised in the state of California. In a rural community called Columbus, California, just a suburb of Fresno in the central San Joaquin Valley. I've been here at the lake, like I said, since 1999. I'm married. We live right on the Little Niangua. I like to kayak when I don't have a shoulder injury. I've been with Share the Harvest for 10 years, and I've been the executive director for 9. I started out learning a little bit about each of the operations at Share the Harvest. And then most of you might have been familiar with Bob White, who passed away. And I think his health wasn't good, especially towards the end there. He started grooming me to be the executive director, showing me all the aspects of what goes into that. Before that, I worked for Ron Dugan as a title searcher. So I've been involved in the community for a number of years, and stepping into the role at Share the Harvest has been one of my greatest accomplishments. I'm really proud of that. So thank you for having me this morning. I'm excited to share our story with you today, and we hope to be a top contender as a beneficiary for the Camdenton Rotary Club's Sudsy Summer. Next. About us. Our mission is to change the lives in the communities we serve by feeding those in need today and building a healthy, hunger-free tomorrow. Our vision statement is we envision a community which has access to sufficient, nutritious food. I've always said when I go out and talk with people, I wish there would come a day when my job would be obsolete at Share the Harvest and we wouldn't have that need, but that's not the case. So we're here and we're here to serve our community. Next year. You're on May Street. In 2005, Share the Harvest Resale Nook, or Thrift Store, was established to provide food for families in Camden County. Between 2005 and 2007, they decided to help support their operations by opening a thrift store. So if any of you know where we're located out on Highway 7, just out of Greenview, just less than a mile down on the right-hand side. Before our facility was built, there was a cabin. They used to sell bait out of it years ago. Well, they took over. Mr. Jackson was kind enough to gift that property to us. And so we operated out of that cabin. And in the back of the cabin, there was a little outbuilding, a small little pole barn. And that was our food distribution. People used to have to wait outside in the elements. So what they did is they did a capital campaign, fundraising efforts, and they applied for many grants to secure the funds to build the facility that we have now. We have an approximately 15,000 square foot facility. Half of it provides our thrift store operations, and the other half is our food pantry operations. In 2007, private grants and donations allowed us to hire an executive director and purchase the property. We purchased the property as we were gifted a majority of it. We had to show some sort of land ownership in order to secure some of these grants. So we paid very little to secure the property. In 2009, Neighborhood Assistance Program grant was awarded for the construction of the new building. That was about I'm going to say $45,000 to $50,000. I'm sorry, $500,000. We have $1 million facility where we're currently located at. So we were able to get half of that through grants, and the other half was raised, not even the other half, the other quarters was raised through private donations, capital campaigning, things of that nature. So we still have a mortgage on our building, although we are diligently trying to pay that down. My goal is before I leave Share the Harvest is to have our building paid off. So in 2012, the construction of our new facility was completed. And in 2013, a USDA grant was received to construct our high tunnel, which is a glorified name for a hothouse where we grow fresh vegetables about 7 months out of the year. And those vegetables in turn come back into our pantry to give to our pantry clients. Over the years, we've messed around with growing, fufu. I call them fufu produce, your kales, your things that people are supposed to be very healthy with. Our clients don't like that. So we stick to the basics. Tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, onions, beans, things like that. Last year in June, we celebrated our 20th anniversary of serving our community. In who we serve. In 2025, 10.9% of Camden County's population lived below the poverty line. With a population of approximately 42,000 people, that's just over 4,600 individuals. And sometimes it's more or less. There's an influx there, and we're always dealing with census data that could be a little bit outdated. So we do our best to come up with accurate numbers. We serve about 500 to 600 families a month with food and other resources. So we just aren't a food pantry. I have a lot of people who come to us needing financial assistance. They need a little help just getting by. We encourage them to come to the food pantry to get food. We encourage able-bodied individuals to come in for assistance to donate some time back to Share the Harvest, some sweat equity, and to us helping them. We also serve border residents. These are families that live in another county, but they're close to the Camden County lines and they have no other resources closer to them. So we have some people from Eldridge, we have people from Edwards. Every now and then I get some people from the Kaiser area. So we don't refuse food to anybody if they walk through our door. In November, I saw a lot of people coming to us, and I think they were probably pantry hopping, and people do that, it's okay. But what I try to encourage people to do is I will give them food. They walk through the door now, so we're going to give them food, but we're going to give them resources where they can reach out in their own community. I had people driving from Eldon. I had one lady who drove from Stover. That's a 25 to 30 mile trip one way. And so we try to give them resources in their own community. In 2025, we served 6,310 families with food. That's 14,826 people. Let me break that down for you. We served 3,567 children in households, 6,697 adults in households, and 4,562 seniors, all last year.
Those are individual people, not double count when somebody comes through.
It's hard when we get asked about unduplicated cases. We have people who come monthly. I mean, we see some of these people on a regular basis. We have programs that we encourage people to use on a monthly basis too. I go and I solicit funds from the senior county tax board to do a voucher program where seniors who are in a very low income bracket get $70 extra to go grocery shopping at grocery stores that we have charge accounts with. That's a $190,000 program. So we see a lot of these people on a month-to-month basis. So yes, a lot of people say, is that duplicated or unduplicated people? Well, our situation is a little different than some of the other organizations out there. So we see a lot of people on a monthly basis. Let's see, I think I've lost my place here. Our food pantry. I've already kind of given you a little bit of information about our food pantry, but our food pantry clients are qualified through government program guidelines, but we never turn anyone away for whatever their situation was. I had a gentleman from Edwards who was coming to us for a while. He didn't use our services very long, but he had lost his wife. He walked around like a zombie. He didn't know what to do next. But he made $6,000 in his investments portfolio and Social Security and everything. He was $6,000 a month. That's up there quite a bit from what we usually see. But we don't refuse food. He was lost. He didn't know where to go, what to do. not only did I provide him with food, but I gave him some additional information where he could contact a social worker who works with the aged and could help him navigate some of the struggles that he was going through. We partner and pick up food and other goods 3 days a week from local grocery stores like Dearborn's, Woods, Gerb's, Walmart, and $2 general stores, as well as receiving shipments from our community partner, the Food Bank for Central and Northeast Missouri. So we get 2 shipments a month from the food bank. Each household receives approximately 20 pounds of food per person per month. Milk, eggs, grocery meats are one of the always staple visits that foods that we have. They get produce, bread, sweets, canned goods, peanut butter, pasta, sauce, things of that nature. We try to stay away from a lot of the junk foods, although we go through a lot of people love their sweets. So we go through a lot of sweets, but we have good nutritious food that families get. So a family of 4 is going to walk out with 80 to 100 pounds of food. To help supply food banks, food pantries were designed to help people feed their families for a week to 10 days. So we're not here to feed you for a whole month. There are other resources out there that a lot of our clients utilize, and that's okay. And so we want to give you enough food that you can expend some of the dollars that maybe you have for prescription medications or a doctor's visit copay, things of that nature, fuel for your car. We are a choice pantry. Neighbors can stop, can shop for items that their family will want to eat, eliminating waste. Although we do have an express feature, we have a lot of people who work in the healthcare industry, who are home health aides, home health attendants, and their clients use our facility for food and resources, and they can come in. What we found, something good that came out of COVID, is that people like the express option. So we have an express option. Everything that is available this week, we packaged yesterday and in our express boxes. So there's a big box, it's a medium-sized box, it's got about 15, 18 pounds of food in it. And besides all of that they're going to get the milk, the eggs, cheese, yogurt if we have it, 2 to 3 meats that we get donated through our food partners, through Feeding America and our vendor pickups. So they get a lot of food. Every December, we give a full holiday meal. That's a turkey or a ham, stuffing, instant potatoes, gravy, 2 to 3 cans of vegetables, and a pie. And we served, in December, we served 565 families. So they all received a holiday meal that they could take home with them. We're also a community resource center. So we help those experiencing loss due to fire, flood, domestic abuse situations, providing immediate assistance with household and clothing items. So a lot of times we'll see these people immediately after they have a catastrophe or something that is not good in their life. And sometimes we help them continually for a few months. So they don't know, especially people who've lost something due to a fire or a flood or something of that nature. They don't know what they've lost until they actually go to use it. And so a lot of times we see these people. We're on the list for the American Red Cross as a facility that will help them. So we can help them through the store for free with linens, towels, some of the basic stuff we all take for it. We take for granted that we have in our closet. They don't have, so we help with all that. I am a Salvation Army extension officer. So I can write checks for Salvation Army. So anytime you see people ringing the bell, just know that all the money that's raised in the bell ringing here, the Red Kettle campaign, and here at the lake stays at the lake. We keep 85% goes back into an account that extension officers around the lake can write checks to. These are rapid drafts or just like checks. We never make checks payable to people. We make checks payable to entities. So they need help with their electric. We write them a check to Southwest Electric or Let's Lead, wherever it may be, things of that nature. Most of the time we're helping with fuel, get back and forth to work or school, or to a medical appointment, prescription medications, electric, propane, water, and sewer, things of that nature. So we're helping people through Salvation Army. Share the Harvest also does that. We have a financial aid assistance program. So we partner with Salvation Army and we use Salvation Army funds while it's available by, I would say, May, maybe late June, sometimes about 6 months. We just got released the money from Salvation Army. It was $40,000 this year. But that's for 3 counties. It's Morgan, Miller, and Camden County. Those funds will be gone probably by May, if not for sure by June. So then that's for Share the Harvest. What I do with the funding that I get from organizations or people, they say, please use this to help people. I put that money in our bank account for the financial assistance program. And then that's available. I start building that bank account up when we're using Salvation Army funds. A lot of times people will come in to me. I just had this case just recently, and the lady was $500 behind on her rent. Well, our $100 isn't going to help her unless she's getting some assistance elsewhere. And a lot of times we will ask them to, if they've reached out to other organizations, because we don't want any one organization to take the burden on. But sometimes, you know, I will help them with both Salvation Army and financial aid through Share the Harvest, because they need a little bit more to show good faith to their landlord or their leasing company that they are trying to get caught up on their rent. I hate to see or hear about somebody losing their home because of a unfortunate situation that may have happened. I had a lady who had to have her appendix taken out. She was off work for about 4 weeks. And so she didn't get any pay for 4 weeks. And so she was in kind of a peculiar situation and we helped her out. I work closely with Judy Crawford with Lanai. She's also a Salvation Army Extension officer. So we all work together. We network together. We've got chats on our phones, a group chat, and we will reach out and try to help people in our community. It doesn't take just one organization. It takes many organizations to help our community. Our thrift store. Our thrift store provides about $180,000 a year in revenue. That keeps our lights on. That helps pay our bills. We have close to a $4,000 a month mortgage payment. You know, in the summertime, we can have a $1,300 electric bill. We're running our air conditioning in both buildings. So our revenue from our thrift store helps keep our lights on, keeps our doors open, and helps keep us doing what we're doing. We partner with the Changing Table. We partner with the Changing Table and providing diapers, wipes, and period products. We also partner with Faith Bridge Church. I think I went back one. Sorry about that. I always print things. I'm starting to save paper, and so now I'm printing things front and back. Sorry, I'm kind of losing my way here. We partner with Faith Bridge Church. Before COVID, Doug Beck came to me and said, I would like to do something for a community. Our church would like to partner with you and do something for our community to do outreach. So we spent about 6 months before COVID identifying where we wanted to help, and then COVID hit. So we had to kind of put all of our plans on the back burner. But as soon as we were able, we're in our third year. This is our 3rd year of partnering with Faith Bridge Church, and we go with a mobile food pantry. We go to Statland on the 4th Friday of every month. We serve 40 to 65 families. Does everybody know which that one's at? Little South community in Southeast Camden County. Okay, this area doesn't even have a Dollar General. I've driven down the road in the middle of nowhere and saw a Dollar General. They have tried to bring a Dollar General into that area. Unfortunately, they can't seem to agree on land prices out there. So anyway, we go out there. When we started this program and we went to our food bank and said, this is what we want to do, they said, how many families do you think you'll serve? And I said, if we serve one family, we have served one family. And so we heard in our slow months, we're about 40 to 45 families. In our heavy months, we are 60 to 65 families. So it can vary. All right. Go in order here. All right. Our thrift store. Let's go back to our thrift store. Our thrift store is spacious, well organized, and clean. How many of you ladies have been to our thrift store? Okay, awesome. 3 years in a row, we were voted by the Lake Media Readers as the best thrift store at the lake. We didn't get it last year, but we're trying again this year. So if you're voting on any of the best ofs out there, be sure to click on thrift stores and vote for us. I think we made the top 5, so we're happy for that. We are unique in our location in that there isn't another thrift store close to us on the west side. We get a lot of donations. Our back door seating area for our thrift store should be a revolving door because it's just constant, and we're thankful for that. We accept donations for all seasons, which is unique all year long. So we have created a storage system that allows us to maximize our space and save seasonal merchandise. We have specials throughout the year. We have $5 bag sales to get rid of our old stuff when we're bringing in our new season. Same thing in the fall. We do it when we get rid of our summer stuff. We have an annual birthday bash sale. We're 50% off. It's about 3 weeks long, so we can get rid of a lot of stuff in our store. But it's my birthday, it's our thrift store manager's birthday, it's America's birthday, and it's Share the Harvest's anniversary in June. So we call it our annual birthday bash sale. And many of you may not know this, but there's a National Thrift Store Day, and it's August 17th of every year. And we always make a big deal out of that and have a big sale. Our garden. Next page. There we go. So I talked a little bit briefly before about our high tunnel. It's a 30 by 72 high tunnel. You can see some pictures here. In years past, we've grown up to 6,000 pounds of produce. But the last couple of years, it's been about 2,500. I'm having a hard time finding enough volunteers, and I'm having a hard time finding a good gardener, although I think I've solved that problem. Let's hope this year. So it takes a lot of time and effort to do what we do here in our high tunnel and our raised beds. So our raised beds, we grow a lot of vegetables that can withstand a lot of variances of temperatures during the summertime. We also put a lot of flowers out there to beautify our place. So we're always looking for volunteers for that. Let's see, next one. Get involved. This is a picture of some of our volunteers. We took a group photo. Over there, we have a volunteer appreciation picnic. Everything is donated to us. And we take our volunteers to Hawatonka for the afternoon, and we have a thing there. We also, some of our volunteers and staff, they have kids. That's one of Candy's, so it's one of her daughters. Our volunteers have really good times. They meet a lot of people that they didn't maybe not have met before, and they make lifelong friends. So what can you do? Well, you can donate clean and gently used items to sell in our thrift store. You can donate unexpired food, financial support, or the things that I call the 3 T's. 3 T's are time, talent, and treasures. We have a fun, safe environment. We try to, if somebody walks in and they have a disability, of course, we're not going to put them in the warehouse or in the pantry, because you're doing a lot of hard, heavy work over on that side. We'll see if they want to help in the thrift store. Maybe they have good customer skills and they want to work out on the sales floor at our thrift store. So we try to accommodate people to where they want to go and what we think will be the best fit. Not only that, they make lifelong friends, and we have flexible days and hours. Our thrift store operation is a 6-day-a-week operation. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 4, and then on Tuesdays we're open until 7 p.m. Our pantry is open 3 days a week, 10 to 4, except on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and on Tuesday we're open 1 to 7 to accommodate those people who may work and need to come after work. What do we do for fundraisers? We have a variant of fundraisers throughout the year through the thrift store. But our big fundraiser is our Frankie and Louie's charity golf tournament. In years past, it's always been the Monday after Labor Day. We're thinking about changing that. We're investigating that, doing a little research on that. We might change it to a Sunday. But it's held at Deer Chase Golf Club. It's a 4-person scramble. It's one of the funnest days I think golfers have. We start breakfast at Frankie and Louie's for registration and breakfast. We go to Deer Chase, golf all day. Out on one of the holes at Deer Chase, the Tucker boys, they set up a big old spread. They bring their grills. They serve oysters on the half shell, wings, booze. So that's kind of their outreach to the community, and a thanks to our golfers. And then we go back to Frankie and Louie's. We have our awards ceremony, an auction, and dinner. So it's one of the best values for golf tournament that we think here at the lake. After expenses, we generally clear about $18,000 on that golf tournament. So we're pretty proud of that. Next slide shows our 20th anniversary celebration. So that was last year. We still have our signs up on the outside of our building. We had an open house. We had toured the facility. We had about 300 people through our facility on that day. So it was a great day. Jeff Bernetti came and presented us with a proclamation from the state of Missouri about the services and what we do to serve our community. So that was exciting. Next slide. So our address is 689 North State Highway 7 in Camdenton. Although we have a Camdenton address, we're actually located in Greenview. And information about myself. I also have some grant cards that you're more than welcome I can pass out. And I am open to any questions.
So with your grant application, do you have a specific use that you're planning? We usually get around 7,000 to 8,000.
I think on my grant application, I put that would be for our emergency aid fund. So it would directly go into a dedicated account that we don't use for anything else. Doesn't go into our operational account. And all it will do is help people in financial aid, in financial crisis. So, and last year we gave out over $17,000 in financial aid through Show the Harvest. Another $15,000 was given by me through Salvation Army at our office. So that kind of gives you $25,000 to $30,000 a year in financial assistance to help others in our community. And I want to say that if you pick our organization, we have a big volunteer base. So I know I can get you some ticket sales. I have some people who love to go out in the community and sell tickets. They're involved in the community like we are. So we can help you with that. We can help you secure and get you guys do an auction. So I can help you do secure auction items, things of that nature, and provide you with any support that you need on the day of the event. If we were the organization picked, I'd be more than happy to be on your committee and bring my ideas, suggestions, and things of that nature.
I gotta say that you can't avoid her. She's everywhere.
I'm kind of like I could be Mrs. Jerry Phillips, right? You guys all know Jerry.
Oh, yeah.
So between the two of us, we are everywhere.
I have a general question. You said about 10% of the residents in Camden County are below the poverty line.
Mm-hmm.
Is this county higher or lower, or is that a general figure throughout the state of Missouri also?
Yeah, it's a little higher because we're more heavily populated. than some of the other counties. So Miller County and Morgan County. Morgan County, I'm not sure what their figures are. I don't have that with me, but that's a general idea of the counties in our area that are in the underserved bracket.
When we look at the city areas, does that percentage hold true for them also?
Yep. As you know, we don't really partner, but we share food back and forth. So if I have an abundance of apples, I'll call Lamb House. Same thing, he gets deer meat sometimes. He'll call me and say, hey, I've got some deer meat. So we work with Lamb House. It's not a competition. A lot of our clients go to Lamb House and vice versa. Our only requirement for both of us is that you wait 2 weeks in between visits. So we're serving as many people in the community as we can. So
There's some potatoes for you.
So we communicate back and forth if we feel like there's an issue. We communicate back and forth. I speak with Gary. I speak with Deanna. If we feel like there's a fraud or abuse situation going on, because we do see that, I do monitor that. I actually found somebody a couple of years ago who was getting bananas for us, and we didn't care how many bananas they took, because sometimes we get pallets of bananas. But then I saw she was selling them on Facebook. And I had to call her out on it. And so we ironed that out. So it happens. We monitor that pretty frequently and try to be good stewards with y'all's generous donations and good stewards with the food that we give to our community.
Yes. So I know back home where I'm from, it's been a drastic increase in services across the board for all types of services post-COVID. Did you guys see the same increase in services, and how did you respond? And how does that look moving forward?
During COVID, we saw a lot of increase in services. You know, that was a special time for everybody. We didn't know what we were doing. We were navigating a lot of uncharted waters. So we did see an increase in services. November, I saw about a 10% increase in people coming that had never been to Sugar Harvest or to Lamb House, because we're connected through our food services program. I saw about a 10% increase when people's SNAP benefits were suspended. But what you got to remember is not everybody lost. Everybody seems to think everybody lost their SNAP benefits. Not everybody lost their SNAP benefits. It was, I'm going to say, cherry picked. And so there were those families that, like foster care families, they still got their SNAP benefits. So it wasn't everybody who lost their SNAP benefits, and we also had a whole plethora of people who needed food assistance. So yeah, we see that. We see an ebb and flow. It just depends on the economy. It depends on what's going on around the country.
So given that information, that seems to me that your budgeting is more fluid to respond as needed.
Yeah.
But I know most food pantries and food banks have kind of a set thing. So do you do like emergency fundraising in order to cover that gap when those types of things occur?
We actually do. We have, we're smart with our money. I will tell you, when I started the first year that I was executive director, we had a well failure. Our pump went out in our well. And I sat outside in front of Share the Harvest and cried. Because again, I had only been on the job for about 2 months as executive director. And so we didn't have enough money in any account, in our operational account, on our savings account, anything. And we made it happen. We had a lot of donations. In fact, I fundraised for that for about 6 months. So we did a short-term loan with Central Bank to get a $17,000 loan. And we had that paid off in 6 months. So my plea out to the community through letters, visiting folks like you, helped us not carry that note for very long. But I will never be put in that situation again. My learning curve on that was we need to build up a money market account. So we do have a money market account. We don't touch that money market account unless we run into a particular situation where we have to draw those funds out. So we have a safety net. And We feel that's important. It's being smart as a community, so we don't ever have to shut our doors unless there's no need in the community.
Are there any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.